My name is Richard Stamvik. I am a Swedish guy living in the UK since God knows how many years. Work took me here 20-ish years ago. I have always been interested in technology. Technical University, Master of Science, worked for Telelogic, then a part of IBM, with setting up consultancy business in the UK and Western Europe. Then on to Ericsson, Arm, Q Labs, my own ventures, and now I lead product management at Multitech. And that's been through a journey where I've been involved in a lot of marketing activities, a lot of product design and strategy design activities. And IoT as such, I mean, is all about connectivity, connected devices instead of connecting people, as Nokia's famous slogan was. Same and evolved technology that has been developed for voice and then data communication is now being optimized for machine to machine and for devices communication. And with that comes not only communication, that's one part of the jigsaw, it's also about intelligence at the edge, about refining data, about monetizing data. And we should also bear in mind two things I've been trying to kind of live by. One is that if it doesn't either make you money, save you money, or keep you out of jail, i.e. conform to regulatory requirements, it's kind of useless. And the second thing is that it's all about what you do with the data. That's where the magic happens. It's if you do wise things with the data, then you can make money or save money, etc. But getting the data to the point where you can do wise stuff with it, that's well, I say just mechanics. It's a lot of science and a lot of technology behind that piece as well. There's security, there's data transport, etc. But at the end of the day, it comes down to what you do with your data. So that's IoT for me.
Yeah. And then I love that way of describing it with those three things. I remember you doing that when we spoke at the LoRa Alliance Agritechnica conference. And the three things: if you're not saving money, making money, or staying out of jail, don't bother. So that's a nice kind of thing to live by.
Just a comment on that. It seems obvious, but it's all about keeping your eyes on the ball. It's the same thing as just because you connected everything, that doesn't mean that you automatically succeed. You need to understand what you're trying to achieve. Is it a cost saving, or is it an implementation of a new strategy? You need to focus on what you want to do. Then go find the technology, or the support, or the various pieces allowing you to do that.
Cool. And then just because some people who are watching this might not know what Multitech is, because they might come outside of IoT, do you want to just give a really short kind of introduction to Multitech as a company, because it's such an important player in the ecosystem and enabler for a lot of people getting started?
Well, you're really saying that there are people who don't know Multitech. Now, so as Multitech is a Minneapolis-based 50-year-old this year, actually started in 1970, company who have been dealing with communication technology for quite a while. It started with analog modems, acoustic couplers for modems in those days, and then moved on to wireless and other technologies as well. But today, Multitech is a key provider of industrial IoT connectivity solutions in the licensed camp. That would be cellular technology for you, from 2G, 3G, 4G, all the way to NB-IoT and lower LT categories like category M1, and also now soon producing proof of concept products for 5G. We also do unlicensed technology, and I should say this is all about wide area technology. It's long range signaling. We also do unlicensed technology, and that's where LoRa comes into play. LoRa being the most potent ecosystem for unlicensed WAN technologies on the market today. And in both of those camps, we provide modems, routers, gateways, i.e. part of the radio transport part of the network. And in the LoRa camp, besides doing the actual radio access network in the form of the gateway, we also do part of the core network in the form of device and network management. So we basically provide, one could say, that thin black line from the end device to the cloud. We are that piece connecting those two. We aren't the only ones, but we are one of a few companies doing that. I would say that we have a handful or so of competitors. It's not hundreds.
Yeah, and you also have the modules that go in the products as well that then connect and connect and connect through. Correct. And I think one of your gateways was recently awarded kind of one of the 10 most important IoT products because it's such an enabler to so many people.
Mm-hmm. We've had, I should say with a certain amount of pride perhaps, we've had quite a few nominations for innovative products and stuff, and that's nice. It shows that A, we are doing the right thing, and B, there is a need in the market for what we're doing, and those that praise always comes on the back of doing something innovative, either in communication or edge compute or security, i.e. providing the pieces that allow you to do exactly what we set out to do, provide mechanisms for ferrying data securely and in a deterministic way from one place to the other.
Cool. Okay, so if we then take a step back, so we've already talked about kind of what you see IoT is, but I find that Multitech, and also because of your personal wealth of experience in this kind of ecosystem, how would you describe the ecosystem today and its kind of maturity and ways of working?
Mm-hmm. Well, first of all, this entire IoT thing started with what was then called M2M. It was a quest to connect machines using existing technology. I mean, the industry has been doing this for years, using wireline technology and using a wealth of wireless protocols, achieving, say, industrial control or machine maintenance management or something similar. Now, over time, that ecosystem has matured. There are more players. The technologies are more mature. There is a trend towards standardization. We see now the use of 3GPP standardized cellular technologies across the board. Industry standards like LoRa and other wireless standards are omnipresent. They are everywhere. There's still a range of proprietary solutions, but I think more and more ecosystem players see the need to not do a niche technology here when there is something available on the industry with a wide ecosystem backing that can do the same thing quicker, better, and most importantly, cheaper. Excuse me. So the ecosystem maturity happens on two sides. One is the takers of this. This is not just constrained to the few industrial big players who have a very well-defined use case. It's a omnipresent set of technologies allowing you to do things across the board, from wiring up your vending machine so that it can signal when it's empty, to doing preventive maintenance and doing as you have been doing, offering support systems for agricultural solutions. The other piece is the supply. With standards come a focus on doing what you do best. If you are a sensor or device provider, you don't need to worry about the wireless protocol that's going to hook it up to the cloud or to your home base, because there are solutions for that around from us and our competitors and partners out in the industry. So the takers, the set of users of technology has broadened, and the set of providers of solutions has broadened as well. And that has happened exponentially. I mean, it's grown massively. Most people today, I know, have some sort of connected device in their house, be that a Google Home or a Nest thermostat or an Alexa or something along those lines. And most industries rely to some extent on some sort of connectivity for preventive maintenance or for monitoring or for any kind of industrial solution. This is way from where we were. When I started at Ericsson many moons ago, we were then dabbling with taking the latest and greatest mobile phone and extracting the communication piece from that and putting that into a device. And now it's everywhere. And that wasn't that long ago.
Yeah, exactly. And stuff changes all the time. And what was relevant 2 years ago isn't relevant anymore. And yeah, you have to be able to move with that. So if we use that as a pivot, actually, to then the next question, which is less about the technology and more about the people delivering the technology. So again, you work with so many different types of companies in this ecosystem, and you see the maturity and that rate of change. What kind of core competencies or skills do you think a really successful IoT company should have?
Oh, that's a good one. Well, first of all, it's kind of a fundamental or a hygiene factor. You need to have a offering, and well, let's go back a step. You need to have an understanding for the industry you're in. I mean, that's a skill you always have to have if you want to be successful. Understand what you're doing, understand what you're good at, and have a clear and well-defined path from idea to offering. But specifically in IoT, it's still very technology-focused business. You need to understand the technology and what the technology can do and how you can utilize it to provide the solutions you want. Now, technology in isolation is no good. I mean, we see that time and time again. Just because you have a potent form of communication or security or management technology, that won't make you successful. Success comes when you can put that in context, when you can wrap that in an offering, be that a product or a service, and even more importantly, tie up with ecosystem partners. The successful actors here are going to be the ones who can provide their little, more or less unique piece, their thing with a certain set of USPs that stand out. But more importantly, wrap that in the bigger context. Team up with the right guys who can bring this to market, be that horizontal or vertical technology players, but also customers who can wave your flag, who can push your brand out there, and who allow you to do case stories, which is the best marketing tool there is. It's suppliers, the entire supply chain, who will rely on you as one of the takers of their product, and everybody needs to be in line. Everybody needs to be in sync, and managing that ecosystem, the horizontal and the vertical ecosystem, that is the tricky bit. There are lots of really good innovators who can provide fantastic pieces of that jigsaw. The winners are the ones who can put that jigsaw together and still realize that we are just this little piece here, but we together sell the solution.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. And then, well, let's kind of build on that then, and say, okay, so again, from your unique perspective in this ecosystem, what advice do you have when people are coming into the IoT marketplace for the first time? They might be a company that's trying to digitize some of its information so it can make better decisions. It might be somebody who's saying, okay, I'm doing a survey of the technology, and now I want to actually get started with implementing some of these change programs in my own business. What advice would you have for those companies that are kind of starting or embarking on an IoT kind of change project for the first time?
I assume you mean a taker of the technology,
right.
Somebody who would like to utilize IoT solutions and IoT technology to achieve, as I said, one of these things: make money, save money. The first thing is define the problem. What do you want to achieve? If you're a homeowner, you might simply take joy in playing with technology, like myself. Most industries don't have that mindset. They want to achieve something very well defined. They want to save money by ensuring that they can do preventive maintenance services so that they can catch issues before they appear. Or it might be a municipality wanting to offer connectivity service for their own need, for instance, connecting streetlights or wiring up waste bins so they know when to empty them, but also provide a public network for others to. So define that goal. First of all, define what you want to do. Once you know what to do, then go look for somebody who's done that before. And now we come back to those use cases. It's always a lot easier to take something that has been done before and tweak it than to invent something from scratch. So go find a use case. Go look at industrial forums. Go read, in essence. It's easy to say, it's very hard to do, but find somebody who's done something similar and then learn from them and copy and paste as much as you possibly can. Now, most solutions out there are not too dissimilar. There are always that little special piece, that little specific jigsaw piece with a certain piece of security technology or communication technology or something like that. But the end-to-end solution in general is pretty much alike. So try to learn from others and copy. Now, hard to do if you are in industry. You don't want to go to competition and see what they've done and just copy. You want something which is better. But you can always find somebody who worked with that competitor and go and interview them. They can't give you the details, but they can at least give you the big picture. Yeah. So just to summarize, define the goal and try to look at the bigger picture. Find somebody who has a solution view rather than the detail view. Then put the pieces together.
Nice, good advice. Thank you. Okay, and then if we again kind of take a step, so we've looked kind of into the technology and also kind of what Multitech do then within the ecosystem and how that collaboration works and some of the skills that you need or advice to get started. So kind of my last kind of main question on all of this is then, what does success look like? So I'm asking this for both you and Richard as a person, but also then kind of what you personally see would be success for IoT over the next kind of year or two.
So, well, for me, it's about setting up those goals. I, of course, have my own private goals, and the company I work for have theirs, and our customers have theirs. Now, for me personally, it's all about my own personal satisfaction with seeing the team perform. I personally enjoy seeing others or my team succeed. But for the company I work for, and rather for the business as a whole, IoT is all about utilizing technology to a certain purpose and achieve that goal. So I see the success of this coming from what we can achieve, what can be achieved. Sure, the industry has saved so and so much money or made so much new money by using technologies, but that has always been the case. A new enabler comes into the picture, appears in the world, and people will start to use it. Success here is if, well, not if, but rather when we can see something really good coming out of this. I mean, we're always on the look for innovative new use cases. And consider this, for instance, through the ability to track people using mobile technology, we can now limit the spread of the COVID-19 virus. I mean, that was impossible to do before we had the technology pieces and before we had the ecosystem allowing this to happen. The same with IoT. If we can use IoT to achieve not only more yield or in this and that farm, but remove part of world poverty and world hunger. If we can increase the yield of farms in impoverished areas, if we can offer communication technologies to allow entrepreneurs to flourish, that's success. Yeah, or we can do something that in essence ends up on the agenda of nations, of the UN General Assembly agenda. That's success.